consult him. Because if Dak Prescott is hurt, if Cooper Rush is hurt, Trey Lance could end up being your quarterback. So you go give me a dude. You're not going to talk to me about getting this dude. You're not going to ask me what I think of him. You're not going to ask, how does this affect my team? If anybody should feel some sort of way about this, it should be Mike McCarthy. If this is telling anybody that going forward, your position may not be as secure as you need it to be, it is Mike McCarthy. Because I promise you this, Dak Prescott goes out and ball. Dak Prescott goes out and have a Pro Bowl season. Trey Lance is not going to be the quarterback. For all intents and purposes, Trey Lance is a dude that couldn't be the second-string quarterback on a team whose two quarterbacks are Mr. Irrelevant and a dude that saw ghosts in prime time. That's a problem. I'm not scared when you bring that guy to my team if I play quarterback. But if I'm the head coach who had to get rid of or not re-sign the offensive coordinator so I can have my last-ditch effort to continue being the head coach, and you make a move this monumental without consulting me, that's the person that should have the problem, not Dak Prescott. You play football, go play football.
Here's where I disagree with the both of y'all. I don't give a damn who has a problem with it. The issue is Jerry Jones clearly doesn't care whether or not they have a problem with it. It's not about, of course Mike McCarthy is going to have a problem with it. RC, you're absolutely right. You can sit up there and say it's dumb all you want to, Dan Orlovsky, because obviously this potential, it creates doubt. It creates friction. Maybe that's what Jerry Jones wants to do. Maybe playing for the Dallas Cowboys, I'm dead serious. I'm not joking around. I'm not trolling. Maybe, just maybe, Jerry Jones is thinking about the brand that's worth over $10 billion, the number one brand in sports, the star in the helmet, playing in the billion-dollar playpen known as Jerry Jones. Maybe he believes that people have gotten a bit comfortable, and he wants to make them uncomfortable.
Stephen A., I know you very well. Look at me. It is courtesy and respect. Do you have some clout on this program? Absolutely. If somebody was brought in, if maybe someone wouldn't consult you, but they would give you a heads up privately and let you know that it's happening.
I don't understand your question.
What do you mean you don't understand the question?
I don't understand what your question is.
It's out of respect. It's about the culture. It's not about sensitivity and feeling.
Next 2 years and then find his way out of there, then fine. But he don't owe him a conversation. We're saying this because it's the Cowboys and it's Jerry Jones. That's not his job.
Hold on. Let me chime in because Molly jumped in and made a statement or a question to me, and I'll answer it right here, right now.
Yeah.
And you brought me up as a comparison. You damn right ESPN will consult with me. But it's not just out of respect. It's because I produce. The fact of the matter is Dak Prescott hasn't in a lot of people's eyes. Listen, I'm dead serious, guys.
Are you trying to change the culture, though, and get things on?
Molly, you're talking about feelings. Jerry Jones, clearly, you saw him. He doesn't care. We're not saying that he should. And I understand what you're saying. It calls for respect.
Yeah.
He clearly is saying, damn it, I gave you enough respect. I want results. You're not getting it done. And the fact of the matter is, I assure you, since you brought me up, if I was sitting here and I failed to get to an NFC championship game and me combined with the Tony Romo era, I'm 0-6 in divisional playoff games. I can't get to a damn conference championship game, let alone a Super Bowl. You're going to get about $60 million next year. You've got about $75 million over the last 2 years, and I continuously come up short. I promise you, with the bosses here, they may not consult with me with some of the decisions that they make. Because who am I if I'm not contributing to the bottom line?
It's not in terms of asking your opinion.
I'm not
asking for permission. It's just that it's a nod out of respect. Hey, here's the deal. This is what's happening.
He clearly doesn't respect them enough.
And that's not a problem. And that's not a problem.
Do you want that energy going into the season?
Clearly, he might have said, I'm tried everything else. Let me try this.
Stephen A., there's a wrong way and a right way.
I totally agree.
That's what I believe. It's a principle thing. Go ahead.
It's a way that you go about handling the situation the right way. Like there's a right and a wrong. I totally agree with Molly. I want to be very clear. I don't disagree with the move to go and make the trade.
No, of course not.
That is totally Jerry Jones's role and his entitlement, and also it's smart for the Cowboys. What I'm saying is this: when you, as an owner, are notoriously loyal to a fault, and 2 years ago, I watched everybody on television say, well, how come Dak Prescott hasn't gotten his contract? I watched you do that. Why are you playing with Dak Prescott? He's outperformed his contract.
At the time.
But then now to sit there and say he's not worthy of, hey, we're making this move. I'm not asking you for your permission.
But what I think you're missing is this. If I am an owner and I believe I've tried everything else, if Dan Orlovsky is running a network and he's nice and he's respectful and he does X, Y, and Z in a very pristine and professional fashion, ethical fashion, et cetera, and nothing's working, and somebody's bottom line or somebody's production isn't contributing in a positive level to the bottom line, you might alter your actions and your way of thinking from time to time, just to light a fire under them, just to nudge them. You don't know. I mean, this is Jerry Jones we're talking about here. Look at what he's done. He's going to be of the mindset, yo, I've tried everything else. Maybe I try this. Why? Mike McCarthy, you want to call plays now, okay? They were calling you archaic a few years ago when you was coaching Aaron Rodgers. All right, that's about 6 years ago. But here you are. We had the #1 offense last year. You telling Kellen Moore, his offense, it didn't spell for the defense. We were exhausted out there. You didn't do what you were supposed to do, even though you produced points or whatever. We want to do something different. I'm asking for this power. Well, guess what? Your behind is on the line, too. I'm watching you. I need you to show up. I need you to produce. And if I have to sit up there and be a bit truculent, a bit rude, a bit disrespectful or whatever on this particular day, so be it, because guess what? I think that's necessary. I'm saying that's possible. They did that.
But here's my pushback to that. Two things. Go ahead, RC. Go ahead, RC. Go ahead.
No, I just think the thing we're getting into is relationships now, right? We're not talking about business. This is away from business. This is, you're saying that based on Dak Prescott's relationship with Jerry Jones, he should be consulted. We don't know if they have that relationship, right? And the chain of command, the order of business doesn't say that if an owner or a general manager makes a decision that a quarterback has to be consulted about what happens in his room. We're assuming because now people place so much on that position. People think that position puts you on such a pedestal within an organization that you have to be the guy that's talked to when roster moves are made. But that's not true. That shouldn't and that cannot affect the way you go about doing your job, and that cannot affect the way that you approach leadership in your locker room each and every day. And that's what Jerry Jones is saying to Dak Prescott. You got a job to do. Go out and do your job. Your job is not to police me. Your job is not to give me advice. Your job is not to give me your opinion. Your job is when the football is snapped to throw it to the guys that wear the exact same uniforms that we wear. And last year you didn't do that enough. Now go play. You want to make all of this go away, go ahead and ball.
By the way, to get back to your original impetus for this conversation, that has happened to me in the past. The level of respect that I'm given and courtesy that I'm given now was not the case earlier on in my career when we were not #1. There is a difference. And I'm telling you right now, I don't know of a boss that wouldn't confirm what I just said. Yes, courtesy, decorum, and all of that stuff is important. Under normal circumstances, it absolutely happens most times. But there are times when that approach, but there are times when you've been here 8 years, but I've been here.
No, I'm saying Dak.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm just saying, but he again.
It's not like he just got there.
Yeah, I understand that. But again, Jerry Jones never did this before.
But guys.
But now he's like, nah, I need production.
Here's my thing.
So with Tom Brady, it's okay. With Aaron Rodgers, it's okay to not consult with him. But all of a sudden, it's not okay to not consult with Dak Prescott.
No, I don't think it's not okay with Aaron Rodgers. I don't agree with that at all.
Yeah,
I think Aaron Rodgers, they should have drafted him weapons.
I remember when it happened, there should have been at least a heads up. I learned this a little bit with the Carson Wentz, Jalen Hurts thing. To be honest with you, because I was sitting there like having, oh my gosh, you never know what it's going to do to them and this and that. Here's my thing, RC, because you're talking about it, and I just being relationships. It's the most important relationship in the building. It's the most important relationship in the building. So the
most important relationship is the head coach and the quarterback, not the owner and the quarterback.
Head coach and quarterback.
Not the owner and the quarterback.
To make a decision that directly impacts how I'm going to go about my job on a daily basis is a massive move. And to give me no heads, you're sitting here saying, Stephen A., that Jerry Jones might sit there and say, like, I've had enough. He waited 9 days before the season to do it. If Jerry Jones really felt that way about the situation,
Dan, I'm totally not with you on this. I'm totally with RC on this, Dan. I think you missing it, bro.
To not give him a heads up.
I don't think it's required for him. Would it have been nice? But it ain't required for him.
It's not.
It's
and
not.
why does it affect
You're
his
right,
job?
RC. You're right,
Why does it affect his job?
Because
my thing is this: why would Trey Lance being in that room affect the way I approach my job? You know how much a field shrinks when the ball is snapped. You know what it'll make me do?
Yes.
You know what it'll make me do if Trey Lance in my room now, and if I got a problem, Trey Lance ain't gonna never beat me to work.
That's
Trey
right.
Lance
Come on, we're talking
Trey
about.
Lance ain't gonna leave.
You guys got me defending
Trey
Dak on
Lance ain't gonna be in that building when I'm done.
RC,
No,
this young man went to Mississippi State. And was a 4th round. He doesn't need Trey Lance for motivation. It's Dak Prescott. The guy's been through his life story.
Evidently, Jerry Jones feels that way.
Come on, we cannot.
You might be right, but Jerry Jones doesn't feel that
cannot
way.
laud this guy
My question
and
is
his
this.
character,
Dan.
and then sit there and go, oh, you know what I'm going to do
Dan.
now is go ball.
We're talking about
Dan. But the point is this.
Go ahead.
So my question to you is this, right? If Trey Lance, his presence in there cannot affect Dak Prescott in a positive way, if he can't look at that and feel some sort of way about that decision and now turn up his game a little bit, turn up his preparation a little bit, then I feel like it can't affect him negatively either.
See, I love you.
If there is nothing that Trey...
Well, we love you. But the fact of the matter is...
It's just a difference of philosophy,
I'm not...
Dan.
Well, that
At
means
the end of the day, it is.
And I'm not saying Dak Prescott feels how you do. If this affects Dak Prescott negatively, then he's soft.
He ain't that dude.
Period.
No,
Point
it's
blank.
not about accepting him. It's about conducting yourself, and it's about how you do business. It's not about feelings. It's not about being sensitive. It's how you choose to move,
If you're
Stephen
Dak
A.
Prescott, you're sitting there going, you couldn't have given me a heads up.
I'm not going to lie to you. Both of y'all are tripping this morning. Both of y'all are tripping this morning. Because there's no way on earth that you two do not know that bosses can get to a point where if your level of productivity doesn't measure up to snuff in their eyes, their regard for respect for you dissipates.
I haven't
anywhere.
To be honest with you, I probably haven't achieved that level in my life. To be honest with you, here's my pushback.
I'm not trying to say they're disrespecting them.
No. Here's my pushback.
They're not.
He's the quarterback
They're
of the
not.
Dallas Cowboys. He's one of 32 in the world. He's one of essentially 12 to 15.
Owners care about their own team. You know that, Dan. You know that, Dan.
All right. So after the playoff game, the words coming out were quarterback turned the football over too much from their own teammates. They start with both New York teams. If they somehow start 0-2 and he doesn't play great, this is going to be a conversation. And that is my point, that he doesn't even know that could be.
Trey Lance has not proven he can play. There's no pressure. You're acting like they brought in